can refer to that.
Cool. Discords. We should have done ours. Anyway, yeah. So we just got a couple of questions for what we want to do, what we want to talk about. Mainly, it's just if you've seen the thing that we sent you. It's just about the marketplace and then what you're doing as well in Decentraland. So yeah, because you're doing obviously what you posted is a pizza delivery with Domino's. That's all I saw.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, that was the most recent public kind of thing I've done. But I've been working with Decentraland in their SDK and their environment for about 3 years, on and off. And so I've built a lot of different things, small things, bigger things, for myself, for other people, and just flexing the ability as a developer to push the platform and see what we can create. And this latest creation with the Domino's thing is kind of my latest flex of taking some like public APIs that you can tap into as a developer and putting them, a front end in the virtual world, right? Anything, all the Domino's stuff is exactly like if I was on Domino's.com ordering a pizza. It's just the front end is different. And so trying to shed light on that capability as developers, but also big brands to open up and say, hey, maybe we should get our development teams like from Amazon in this virtual world, or any direct to consumer brands that excel exclusively online. They don't have any retail stores, to get them involved as well, because why not, right?
Yeah. So you said it connects to the Domino's store. So how does it really do it? Because it's in the metaverse now. You just said that things are moving over to the metaverse. But really, my question is, how, if you want to reveal it, how does it really work for the user, for the user perspective?
My case specifically, or just the metaverse in general?
Well, we can go on your case specifically, and then we can go to the general, because that's what.
Yeah, I mean, look, the kiosk, people can go up to it and order a pizza. It's just I've limited it to a very small amount of people, and only a cheese or pepperoni pizza, because one, I have to build out. Do you want jalapeno peppers? Do you want barbecue sauce? Do you want this? And I've got to visualize all of those menu options to the user. So that's going to take a really long time, right? But I'm showing the capability of what's possible. And so it does work for the user. It's very seamless. You type in your address, you choose your pizza, you pay with Mana, and the pizza gets delivered to you. I don't have any involvement in terms of doing anything in the back end, or they type in their info and then I call up Domino's, or I'm on Domino's website typing it in. It goes from my code directly to the Domino's code, and so that highlights the ability for other people to create content like that as well.
So I would just have a question. So basically, it works on just some specific Domino's, or it can be expanded to all Domino's.
So what this does is the code takes your address, and then it hits Domino's and says, hey, Domino's, here's an address. Return me all of the stores within 100 miles or whatever radius I send it to them. And so I say, hey, Domino's, send me all the Domino's within 25 miles of this address that can deliver. And then Domino's servers send me back all the stores. I present the user with all of those stores and say, hey, do you want this store? Do you want this store? Do you want this one? The user chooses that store. Then they choose, a pizza. I send that pizza back to Domino's and say, hey, Domino's, can this store make this pizza? And if so, Domino's will send me a response back, their server and code. And when I say back to me, it's my code. And it says, yes, we can make this pizza. So then the person pays for the Mana. And then at the end of that, it takes the order and the store and sends it to the Domino's server and says, okay, we've got a new order for this customer, for this pizza, for this store.
Okay, so basically you use an external API and integrated using Decentraland as the front end. Is that right?
100%. I'm starting to be a contributor to this package. 1 second. I'm going to send it to you guys. Can I do this in the chat? Hold on. Can I message? Here we go. Okay.
Yeah,
so any developer is familiar with NPM. It's a online tool to download prepackaged code. This package is the one I'm using. It pings the exposed APIs that Domino's uses.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense for me, 100% sense for me as I'm a backend developer, so I'm used to the API concept and backend stuff. So I can grasp the idea and the potential of it, and I can imagine using all sorts of API in order to add features and to the Decentraland ecosystem. We could also, for example, imagine using a weather API in order to change the weather on Decentraland. If that's possible.
I mean, for your scene, yes. For your specific piece of land,
Okay.
if it's raining, wherever you want their location, like I'm working on right now as we're speaking, to limiting the ordering to the U.S. based on their IP address. Before, I just kind of told people, hey, if you're not from the U.S., please don't order. But now I'm checking that in the code so that they can't even bid, right? So
Okay.
let's say in your scene, you ping a server in the back end, like on Amazon, that says show weather. It'll get the IP address from that ping. It'll call an external weather API that says, give me, the weather for this location. And then you send back down to the scene, rain, sun, tornado, whatever. Right.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
So that's all really cool. And because we're in Decentraland and stuff like that. I'm in Decentraland, messing about with the SDK and stuff. But if we move on to another topic, like in the metaverse, we see like a lot of Kings of Leon dealing with NFTs. We've got Gucci, like having your NFT and digital asset on your phone. So the question really is like, in a modern marketplace, because it's like your booth was like it relating to markets and how things can be sold as NFTs. What do you think is the capabilities or in store for NFTs in the future in marketplaces such as Decentraland or just on marketplaces in general?
I think there needs to be a reckoning for the understanding of NFTs. People generally do not understand what an NFT is. And that's unfortunate because they can be good and they can be bad. There was a gentleman, so when someone's selling an NFT, you think you own that piece of artwork or that code, whatever, and you actually don't. The creator of the NFT, they can change the image and all of the metadata for that NFT on a whim. They can totally do it if they wanted to. So your super rare legendary sword could turn into a stone pickaxe if they wanted to. Your Chanel Gucci bag NFT could turn into a TJ Maxx or a Target grocery bag if it wanted to. So it's kind of a loaded question because NFTs are great, but there needs to be more structure around making them truly unique, the data behind them truly unique. If you imagine NFTs is just one big line of people standing in line, okay? And all three of you're in position 1, 2, and 3, and I'm in position 4, okay? So Eddine, if you want to sell your position 1, I'll buy it, right? Your NFT. What that means is I go from in position 4, and now I also am in position 1. That's all that it is. Now there's external data that is not part of that queuing line because that queuing line is on the blockchain. Okay. So now I'm standing in position 1 and I'm like, hey, what comes with position 1? Well, you got to reach out to the right and get the information. Okay. Well, the owner of that entire line can change any of that information you reach out to the right for at any time. So an NFT artist did this. He had sold a bunch of NFTs, or he had them up for sale, and he showed this problem where he went in and he literally changed the image of every NFT that his artwork to a carpet. He metaphorically and figuratively pulled the rug on everyone that owned his NFT. And I can send you the link to that. And it just shows you don't really own the picture or the data to your right. All you own is the position in line. And whatever data that comes with that position in line, that's great, but it can be changed. So with that kind of mind-blowing stuff, Decentraland, the land itself is an NFT. All of the access and permissions are stored in your position. There is no reaching out to the right or anything. If you reach out to the right, that's the title of the land. That's that stuff. It's not who's the owner. So when we say NFTs have utility, that means that you can actually do something with your ownership of your position besides show it off on a digital shelf, right? I can deploy content to it. I can do whatever. Not to say that there isn't utility in owning an NFT, right? Like if you own a position in line, maybe Chanel says, hey, you got to be in this line to get in the store. That's totally fair. Totally fair. But it doesn't make your position 1 any more unique than position 2, 3, or 4.
Okay.
That's really interesting. I'm learning something, and I wasn't aware of this concern.
Here, I'll send you this link right here so you guys can visualize what I'm talking about. And I really want you to take a look at it, because you'll get the understanding of this guy has, if you have a gallery of NFTs and you buy 10 pieces of art from this guy, without your knowledge or your permission, he changed the image to a rug.
Changed. Well, because then that only protects the artist then, because so like on Rarible or OpenSea, you make an NFT and then people always copy it. It's you get the the commission from that. So then it needs to be the other way around. That's what he's saying, to protect the people who want to distribute the art as well.
What he's saying is that it's not unique. He's basically saying it's not unique. He's saying the creator of the NFT can change it at any time, even though you think you as an owner of the NFT have the exclusive uniqueness to that picture. You don't. So he was trying to highlight, like, look, we got to figure out how to put this image or this artwork in the position of that line versus always reaching out and getting it from a different server like Amazon or something. And I highlight this on my stream, and I can talk about it further. I can show you another example where it's from OpenSea, the developers. It shows you how to store this metadata off chain and how to access it. So I'm gonna pull this up right now, and you'll see if you go to this link. Okay, you'll see here in the middle, there's a box that has an image attribute, and you'll see there's a link to that image. So the creator of the NFT, if they wanted to, they could change whatever that creature 50 picture is to be creature 1 or creature 2 as a lesser value or perceived value.
So I wanted to ask.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, because you just mentioned it now, the perceived value, because so many people don't get to talk about this. So if people know this aspect of NFTs, do you think the perceived value of NFT would reduce thereby making them see NFT as something of not that valuable as it's now seen globally?
Great question. I think the problem right now with NFTs is it's so hyped up that people don't understand the true the true capability of what you can do with the NFTs besides just hype and trade, right? There's a lot more that you can do besides just hype and trade. And Decentraland is a great example of that, where I can build whatever I want on my NFT, on my land. And I can generate money from that. Or I can just create a sandbox or a static building for my pleasure, my enjoyment. So the perception of value right now is all hype and hysteria and FOMO. Who's going to get the next NFT so that they can sell it quickly, right? It's not who's buying an NFT so they gain access to a concert venue like Kings of Leon, or who's buying a ticket to go to a Chanel virtual launch party. You know what I mean? Those things have more value in my perception than, the hype and hysteria. So it's all about what you want, right? Are you trying to get a Top Shot basketball NFT so that you can quick flip it? Okay, that's fine. But you just got to know that might have zero value, or it does have zero utility. So you better buy it and sell it quick, because in 3 years it might be, worth nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just to reiterate on that. So the best the future of NFTs and what it will evolve into is representing real world assets instead of what it's like now, where they're just digital assets to new, and people are very hyped up, so they'll just spend loads of money on them to potentially get some more money, like with Bitcoin when it into 2017 and recently when it went up because of the halving. So my kind of it, like you said before, the asset would it just, for the future of NFTs, would be representing things as assets or real world assets.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not saying that every NFT creator is going to go and pull the rug on everybody, but the understanding of what people are owning for an NFT and what they think they're getting is not a true representation of their thought on ownership. But so once the hype and hysteria is over, creating real world applications that require NFT ownership is a way bigger use case than just buying something, collecting it, showing it off, and selling it as a higher value. Unfortunately, blockchain and Bitcoin and things like that, the cryptocurrency trading of these assets has kind of overshadowed the capabilities of blockchain technology. I always try to make this kind of analogy, and let me know if it makes sense, and we can try to bring it up on the podcast. But like back in the internet, when it was coming around in like 99, 2000 or whatever, no one could trade on the internet. No one traded the internet. You know what I mean? People were trying to figure out what to build on it, right? So I don't know what could have happened with the internet if you traded on it, but if you couldn't trade Bitcoin or trade these currencies, people would be focusing on the technology and what you can build on it, right? Versus the hype and hysteria of mana, of NFTs and the value, but building out applications to utilize the technology and then make money off of the technology. So that's kind of like my analogy, because, blockchain, I personally work in real estate. In real estate, there's a chain of title in America. One person owns this document which says they own this house. Only one person can own it. They sell that document to somebody else. That document now says somebody else owns it. That is literally a chain of ownership. The blockchain is literally a chain of ownership. So you could replace all chains of titles of ownership in real estate with the blockchain, because that's exactly what it is. But people can't really see that because they're so hyped up on, trading mana, things like that. So that's kind of my answer to, where I think like trading and NFT stuff is, because it's unfortunate that people can't see the real world use of the underlying technology because they're so hyped up on either an NFT or the value of a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that was well explained. Thank you. Basically, I've looked into stuff with property and how it can be represented by NFTs. And what I've gathered is that NFTs, because they represent real world assets, can give assets a more definable values, if this is correct, because they can it can be split up into tokens and it can be paid off or bought. So stuff that's very ambiguous to price, such as art or something in your house that's hard to sell, can be presented by a token, and then split up and paid off or bought into like shares, just like property on Decentraland. If you have an NFT, you can buy a property with token like shares. So does that reflect, or can it reflect the current property market soon or not? Just give us your verdict.
You mean in Decentraland?
Yeah, in Decentraland and in real life, because I reckon that I think that's what NFTs will eventually do. Represent votes, represent them as pieces of property, like Decentraland represents pieces of property.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to fathom, what you can and can't do with this with an NFT. I mean, there's so much digital things going on that digital ownership is going to be massive, right? It will no longer be, do you own this piece of paper that says I own this house? It'll be, and it could be an NFT. You know what I mean? And that's how you transact. Because if you think about it, we're super archaic. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know, I think if you guys are all in the UK, like we still transact and do contracts with each other on paper. You know what I mean? Like you got to have this paper document and I want you to sign it and I sign it, you sign it, we all sign it and we're good to go. Like, then there's multiple copies of it around and did you really sign it and all this stuff, so it's like we're in 2021 here, so the ability to utilize the digital ownership, I think, is way more valuable in the long run than the value of owning a collectible. So like you said, NFT ownership in in real land, NFT ownership that gains you access to certain things, right? Think of anything that because you own it, you can do something. And let's try to apply that to an NFT, anything, right? You log into a website. You no longer need to type in an email, an address or anything. You should just be able to log into your MetaMask and click sign request and boom. I personally want to create that. I don't know why it hasn't been created yet, but when you log in to multiple different websites, you have the option to sign up with your Gmail account, with your Facebook account, with your Pinterest account, your Instagram account, whatever, right? Why can't you have the ability to sign up by your MetaMask?
Yeah, I saw that in an article the other day, actually, because that would be a lot more secure. People wouldn't share the personal details and their login would be like represented by the token or the NFT that they have in the MetaMask wallet, which would be a lot better.
100%. So, I mean, that is not really an NFT, but that's kind of a real world use case where digital ownership can transform how we access information and grant access to information from others.
So I would like to know what you think about, how blockchain can also be applied in real world, have like real world application apart from trading and cryptocurrency, because the question is, what do you think would happen that would actually make people, transit from this craze of trading and trying to get more money off cryptocurrency and shift the focus to, finding real world applications for blockchain, apart from the financial industry? Do you think that it has something to do with the rise of the value of cryptocurrency, or what do you think?
Yeah, so great question. Really quickly, are we recording for the podcast right now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, just wondering, because that first part, when I was on my other account, if we could just not have that on there, that would be great. I
Oh yeah,
appreciate
obviously, yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
calm.
Yeah. No, but to answer your question, you know, you got to look at what. Oh, 1 second. You got to look at what what blockchain is, and understand the true value of taking something and it has a proof of ownership. It's literally a chain link, and every time something happens on the blockchain, a new link gets added to it, and it can never be removed. And everybody gets to see every link in the chain from the beginning of time to now. And that's a proof of owner. That's a proof of verification. That's the reason why it exists. It's amazing technology. So then you apply that chain link scenario at a really high level to other applications that require proof of ownership or a chain link of ownership. And like I said earlier, real estate is one of them. But blockchain also can have other applications. And I'm blanking on the top of my head here, but there's a ton of supply chain stuff too. Think of an order going through the supply chain. It has to hit certain points, and you want to prove that it got from here to here to here to here. That's essentially can be a blockchain, right? So the blockchain doesn't need to be a global scope. It can be a company can run its own blockchain versus having things in a database that updates each time it hits a new record. Maybe it's a blockchain of somebody ordered, it hit the warehouse, it hit the delivery truck, it hit the person's address. So essentially that's kind of a chain link. Things like that, it's all new. Again, you gotta wade through the fog of the hype and hysteria of trading to get down to what can you do with the blockchain once you understand it. It's like, okay, I'm done speculating trading. Okay, now let's figure out how we can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was what you said before about the supply chain. That actually is related to Hyperledger. You know about that? It's basically
Yep.
Oh yeah, cool. So so you probably already know it's a private chain. So like everything on the blockchain now is like public, but to appeal to companies, it will be like a private chain where it's similar to how the blockchain acts, but you have to have a key to then access the whole ledger and the whole thing and the whole thing about it. And then companies could then use like building blocks of smart contracts to then execute when, like you said, they're gonna what time they're gonna go in if they meet it and if they succeed in delivering that order or something.
Yeah, I mean, a blockchain is a technology, as if Amazon Web Services is a technology, as if IBM has their own platform of software technologies. It can be used in the public or private space, and having companies understand that distributed ledger and verification and applying it to their business logic, can help a lot of companies out.
Okay, cool. So like we've discussed a lot. We discussed Hyperledger, we discussed NFTs and Decentraland and stuff like that. So just to like bring it to close and relate back to what you were doing in Decentraland, what we started with. So are there any upcoming things that you're gonna do and stuff that you're seeing in Decentraland that's pretty interesting and would take off? That's my question really. What do you think about that? Just to kind of close.
Yeah, I think again, high level, the spotlight, unfortunately, either good or bad. I sort of say unfortunately because there's a lot of hype and hysteria. The spotlight has been shined on Decentraland because of Mana and Atari. Now it's also great to get exposure, but it's a huge world, open world with user generated content. So the unfortunate part is there's not enough of people like me that have a skill set or the entrepreneurial spirit or time or effort to build something that will attract you three to stay in the world or somebody else to keep coming back. And so, it's an unfortunate, but also great thing that the spotlight has been shined on the world because, a lot of these people are going to come in, trade the Mana, check it out. They call Decentraland a game, and then they move on. And it's unfortunate because we're at like version 1.0 of the Oasis from Ready Player One. So people don't understand it. There's not a lot they think that they can do. And so they move on. However, there are a lot of things to do, but there needs to be more. And so, we've got casinos. real trading, real world casinos. Awesome. We've got some like player versus player kind of shooter games, right? Where it's it's called Corona Zombies. It's kind of like a shooter wave, right? You got to survive the waves. There's a couple other random games throughout the world that you can do that are great. I think art galleries are going to be awesome. Maybe as it, bring it all together, an art curator for a specific artist will sell NFTs, and to gain access to the gallery, you have to have that NFT, and then they go do a gallery tour, or there's a gallery event. And maybe take it a step further, the landowner is leasing out the gallery to the art curator. So the landowner now built a gallery and says, hey, Banksy, or whoever your art distributor curator is, come host an event. It'll only cost you X amount of mana, and here's my land. And then Banksy's rep or his team says, oh, dope, let's do it. And they host all of this content in the virtual world. So the landowner gets paid, Banksy gets exposure, he sells NFTs, and people come, right? So that's pretty cool. Movies, the whole hype and hysteria with AMC. Why can't we, as AMC, sell NFTs that are digital tickets and you go watch a movie with people? I know there's copyright and licensing issues. AMC doesn't own the movies. I understand that. But just from a super high level, streaming video content, is awesome as well. I personally built a Twitch stream. So you can go to my land and you can watch Twitch in Decentraland. And I can give people access to the keyboard. So when you walk up to the screen, the little keyboard pops out and you type in the Twitch streamer name, and it will change the channel to that Twitch account.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So maybe like collaborative viewing streaming parties, right? Maybe we get a streamer and he'll promote that says, yo, I'm going to stream, in Decentraland. Everybody come watch. If you come watch, you get an NFT or a Pope, a proof of access, a proof of attendance protocol. You get that, right? And so then we get everybody to watch, collaboratively watch the stream. I think what else I'm working on, arcade games are awesome, right? Like maybe Dance Dance Revolution. Why can't somebody create like a Dance Dance Revolution? Or I don't want to give away what I'm doing. I guess I can. Who cares? Basketball. An NBA, in America, there, Dave and Buster's. You go to a game, put in a couple quarters, and you got 45 seconds to see how many baskets you can make. That's dope. Somebody should create that. A mini golf course. Now that there's physics and stuff, create a mini golf. For the super, on the edge nerds, I'm not trying to, make fun of them, but go on a virtual date, go mini golfing together. I don't know, things like that people can share it, and it's addicting. That's what it needs. So to bring it all together, the spotlight is on Decentraland. People are seeing what we can and what you can't do. And I hope that people see what isn't available and take the initiative to create it.
All right. That is awesome. I've done a stream for someone in Decentraland using that SDK, and it is it's kind of tricky, but once you get it, it's really cool. Once you do it.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming with Decentraland. So, I would tell people, if you can, again, get through all the crypto trading hype and hysteria and truly understand Decentraland is version 1.0 of the Oasis, and try to be a part of it somehow as a landowner, or just hold some mana, or try to develop something. And then if you do a good job, reach out to a landowner and say, hey, I've got this cool concept. Your land has nothing. Can I put it on there? Maybe we share the profits. Something like that, right?
Yeah. All right. Can you send a link to your pizza thing or whatever? Just that land so I can check it out.
Yeah. So I'm integrating a Pope booth right now. And for everybody listening, Pope is the proof of attendance protocol. So anytime you join an event, you get a little Pope token. Again, they have zero value, absolutely zero value, unless somebody in the real world, unless I program, you need this Pope token to gain access to something else. Otherwise, people are just collecting these little things saying that you attended. I don't know why. It's like you signed up your name at a little table booth at a conference. It's like no one cares about that. unless you make that sign up requirement for something else. So however people like it, they want to collect it. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But yes, I will send my coordinates for the pizza kiosk. It does change. My land changes. That's another beauty. For you three guys, maybe I show the pizza kiosk, and for everybody else, I show a landfill. I don't you could literally, as a landowner, you can show whatever content to whoever based on whatever. Maybe I make sure there's nothing there but a Pope booth, and as soon as you own the Pope token, the scene around you converts and the kiosk comes out of nowhere.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Right?
Well, yeah, because I was doing some stuff with Pope, integrating it, because you integrate it through Firebase, don't you? And then you have to send it over to be placed on your land. And it was a comic book, I think. It's a comic book release, and they're releasing some NFTs to show them people what they can do. They did. They've already showed it. Yeah, and they used the Pope booth just to get people's addresses to then, like an email thing, you know what I mean? But with addresses, just to collect how many people were there at their event. But that's all it was.
Were you posting in the channel? Is that what I saw?
Oh, I can send you. I can send you if you want.
Yeah, no worries. I was just wondering. I think I saw you were posting about the Pope access.
Yeah. That was me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was me in the SDK talking about the Pope.
Yeah, I mean, look, people like to collect things. So again, throw them a bone, and then maybe use that bone for something else. I don't know. It has no utility. Again, utility, right?
yeah.
So I'm trying to build off the hysteria. I'm going to create pizza NFTs. I created a pizza kiosk because if anybody's been around long enough, 10 years ago in May, a guy, I think he ordered 2 pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. So if anybody pays attention, like CryptoPunks has 10,000 supply. It's kind of a legendary number, right? So I'm going to create 10,000 pizza NFTs, and you get a pizza NFT by ordering a pizza. So there's only going to be 10,000.
Wow.
So
I can imagine
only 10,000 people are going to be able to order a pizza.
That's why I wanted to keep an eye.
Yeah,
out.
I can imagine 5 years from now that would be like a big thing,
right? I mean, again, I'm kind of being a hypocrite, but there's no utility in having the pizza NFT. You just own it and you show it off. But to say that you are one of 10,000, which is actually a very small number of people to order a virtual pizza in the world and have it real world delivery, like you said, in 5 years from now, people are going to look back and be like, whoa, there was only 10,000 people got to do that. That's kind of cool. Or maybe in the future, you will need to gain access to the pizza stadium and only the 10,000 get VIP access or something,
Yeah. Similar to what Hashpass were doing. Yeah. I'm really excited now. I want to go and build some things on Decentraland because I don't know if it was really clunky before, but when I found out that when you're building, it automatically refreshed instead of doing it at the same time, I thought, oh, this is so powerful. You can build so many things and quite quickly once you get your head around TypeScripts and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, and what's funny too is there's a little bit of cost involved on my end, but in terms of gas fees. But let's say you three wanted to just mess around with Decentraland and you don't own any land yet, but you really wanted to see your content in the world for yourself. I could give all three of you deployment access to my land. Okay. You create a scene, you test it locally, you like it. Okay. You give me the code, and I can say, if this address is on my land, show this scene. Otherwise, show my stuff. You know what I mean? If I give you each all three access to deploy, you would overwrite each other's scene. So that really wouldn't make sense. So we can do this, like if three people have deployment permissions on a land, as soon as you deploy something, it overwrites the other one. So what we can do is a cool test. And I'm thinking about opening this up again, maybe having an NFT, having land, allowing people to try to test create something. They send me their code so that I can include it with all the other tenants. And then based on their Ethereum address, they can come in the virtual world. They come to the land. They say, oh, here's my scene. That's cool. Or maybe show a pop-up menu that say, hey, check this scene out created by this person. Check this scene out. And it will literally cycle through the scenes right in front of your eyes. I actually just thought of that, and I'm going to do that. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right.
So yeah, if you want to, I don't know if you know about the builder tool, the drag and drop tool. Honestly, if you guys just want to put boxes and random stuff on a piece of land and just see how it looks in the virtual world, I'm happy. I'm so happy to get your address. Send me the code in Discord, and I will do this today. Seriously, I will.
Okay, I'll give it a try. I never have the chance to really build something on Decentraland. Maybe that can be a first
look,
step.
do it. Go to the builder website. Choose a 1x1 scene as a starter pack, and then you'll be able to just drag and drop stuff, and make sure it's under 10,000 poly count. There's a little counter that counts the geometry of the graphics, and just drag and drop some things in there. It could be absolutely stupid. It could be absolutely random. You download it, send it to me, send me your address, and I'll include it in the scene. I'll do this. If you guys do this, as long as it takes, I will do this, immediately. So like in the next hour, I don't know what you guys are doing. If you want to, go for it. Build something, send it to me, and I'll push it, and then we'll all go hang out.
I'll have a question related to Decentraland. We can do a lot of things on this universe, but what can't be done on Decentraland, for example?
That's actually a great question. Not a lot of people ask that. They just assume you can't do anything, and then they ask, what can you do? So it's a great question. What can't you do? You really can't order anything else online right now. There needs to be public APIs exposed by these platforms. Postmates, DoorDash, Amazon, Best Buy, things like that need to provide access. You can't kill anybody. You can't get killed by anybody. You can't destroy other people's land. You can't deploy your land on somebody else's land. You just can't do it because you're not the owner of that NFT. You can't hack someone's land at all. What else you can't do in terms of like things that I wish you could do? You can't drive a car yet from one scene to another, on the road if you wanted to. There's limited buttons that you can click, right? So you've got the WASD controls, and then developers are given the right to use the E and the F key. So there's no controller access yet. There's no options yet for more keys. What else? You can't use other currencies yet, I believe, outside of mana. And don't quote me 100% on that. I just don't think I've seen it yet. I don't think it can be done. So you have to use mana. What else? Yeah, and if you think, again, it kind of goes to it. Just think of something. Hey, can I do this? And yes or no. For anybody listening, and post our Discord or mention our Discord stuff too. I'm trying to think what else. I'm kind of blanking right now.
It's all right. It's cool. Oh yeah. We'll send you loads of palm trees for your build.
Yeah, guys, I'm not kidding. Seriously, in the next hour, if you have free time, just drag and drop some stuff, send it to me. It'll take me 5 minutes to put it all together and deploy it to my land, and then you can go check it out.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. And that was I don't think we have much more to talk about. I think it was that was a good discussion. Really good. Learned some stuff.
I'll just have maybe one more question. Which field do you think NFT is going to disrupt the most in the way how NFTs aren't yet implemented in those fields? Do you get my question?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think art just so much in the forefront right now. If people can figure out how to truly make your position in line have the unique artwork, and it is being worked on right now. It has been done a few times. I think art, that digital ownership, including the data, is huge. I think that would be huge. I think mobile stuff. I really think tickets. You buy a ticket on Eventbrite or something like that, and then you got the QR code. Maybe NFT ownership is kind of replacing QR codes. I don't know. You buy an NFT on a website and you show up to the concert venue, and they check if you own the NFT, and then you're good to go. I don't know how that would work. I'm just trying to figure out a real world application. I think concert venues, maybe like streaming ownership, music ownership, music rights, stuff like that. That can be digitized as NFT ownership. Anything, again, the utility, the ownership of NFT to get you somewhere that is unique can be disrupted. Gaming casinos, maybe VIP access to NSFW websites or any other website. Your subscription is an NFT. It's no longer you log in, type in your email, type in your credit card info. You get access $5.99 a month. It's just reoccurring on your MetaMask, right?
Yeah. So basically, creativity is our limit, and a lot of things are yet to be done.
And that is the moral of the story, not how much the mana price is.
Yeah. Right.
And I appreciate you guys putting this together. It was, look, I get excited because I've been doing this for a while and I can't talk to anybody about it because no one knows what's going on. I mean, it's like I try to tell family members or friends, and they're like, "Yo, what are you talking about?"
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
So I like doing this because I'm finally able to just tell people what is going on and help them understand it because you have a genuine interest. Other people are like, okay, we're playing golf here. I don't need to know about, I don't know what this stuff is. So, it's freeing to me, honestly. That's why I love doing the AMAs. I love doing the live streams. I love joining, this podcast and you guys setting this up. And I'm always available on Discord because I truly believe the technology is transformative. The speculation is I don't pay attention to that. People ask me, how much mana you got? What do you think the mana price is? And I'm like, well, I've got mana at 2 cents if you really want to know. So, welcome to the Decentraland,
Yeah, that's the same feeling I got when I joined the team with Nsikak and that guy.
It only goes up. Like, mana goes up.
I've got diamond hands, man. It goes up. Everything goes up.
Oh my God, diamond hands. Oh no. You've been looking at that Reddit.
Oh, trust me.
Reddit?
I invest, or should I say speculate?
Cool. Well, yeah, I was only saying before, people look at the price a lot, but it only goes up the more interest and the more people interact with Decentraland, because that'll give it value and give the NFTs, it represents a value. Because if no one interacted with it, then I guess it would stay at like 0.02 pence or cents. So, yeah.
100%. And, I just think, developers create content and sell it for 100 mana. Well, that was 2 cents, $20 back in the day, whatever, however much it was, and now it's $100 for something. And so while developers need to take that into account, is a picture frame, has it appreciated in value? Like you can buy prepackaged code, right? That stuff on like the builder, people can sell stuff like that. Has your picture frame code really appreciated from $20 to $100 as a developer? No. You know, so you need to like work on that. But maybe if you have a truly unique creation in Decentraland, maybe you can allow its value to go up with the price of mana. But other things that simple people want to buy, like you can buy landscape packs, you can buy furniture packs, decorations for your house. You know, you can buy a house and put it on your land. Did that house really appreciate from when it was in mana and mana was at 2 cents and now it's $1,000? I don't know, you know? And that's my point is there's this like, you know, inflection point now of getting people involved and they're like, whoa. It costs so much now to buy a house. When back then the developer was trying to maybe make, you know, $20, $50 on his creation. Now it's $1,000. Good for him, but also bad for the adoption of the community.
All right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like first when I first Decentraland, like I think it was in 2017, but I didn't really make anything on it because I still didn't really know how to develop stuff. But it was like land was 1,000 to maybe lower the mana. It was like 50 quid at the time. I was like, oh, I didn't know why I didn't want to spend then, but I was like, this is just going to go up. And it did. And now it's 8,000 or 10,000 or to just kind of.
Yeah, like this is the link, you guys, for this platform that allows creators to you know, build content, upload it, and then sell it to other people that don't know how to code. So if you go down to I went to the buildings categories, and you've kind of scrolled down to the 1, 2, 3, the 4th row. You'll see this house called Sweden. All right, if you click on that,
there we go.
It's a cool house, sure, right? 700 mana. That's $700 to put on your land. When they created this, you know, it wasn't worth $700. So again, cool creation. Is it now worth 700? Should it still be worth 700? I personally, I don't think so. I want people to get in the world. Yes, this creator, Green Ray Decentraland, spent a lot of time creating this house, and he should get paid for that, or she should get paid for that. But at the 100% increase in value, no one's going to buy this, and then the world sits empty, and then no one wants to be a part of it. So I think it's a fine balance of figuring that out.
Yeah, because the world needs to be a lot more interactive, like, and having more solutions than just having things to buy, I guess.
Trust me, and that's what I work on. I don't build things to buy necessarily. I like to build out functionality, things like that. So that's kind of why the basketball has been on the back burner, because I was trying to show the functionality of this kiosk, or I've been helping others with their back end functionality and providing leaderboards and things like that, that people, you know, oh, they see a leaderboard and like, oh man, I got to come back and play and win and get higher on the leaderboard, right? Like that stuff is cool. So I help people build that stuff versus like, I'm going to build a static car that you can put in your driveway kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, one more question, and then I think.
Hey, no, I have all the time. You guys just tell me when to stop talking. So,
like, stop now. Well, okay, so because parcels of land like NFTs are like quite expensive now. Do you think like Decentraland? I think they should do what we talked about before, like tokenizing things, so they can be tokenizing, making mana be used as a token to get them, but split up. So when we talked about it before, like you can use the NFT to represent land in real world, and then buy it as in shares. So buy parts of it until you can buy it. So do you think that should be the way in Decentraland? Instead of paying full tokens with mana, you pay parts of tokens, and like you're buying a share of the land instead of buying all of the land.
That is sort of been done in the casino.
Ooh.
The casino landowners, and I think they own, so it's kind of like very tiered. So in the districts are neighborhoods, the blue areas, they all have a common goal to contribute their land to something the neighborhood is coming up with. So Vegas district, obviously every landowner in that district said, yep, I'm going to convert my land to this district because I believe in the casinos and I'm going to get a piece of the action from the casino. So there's landowners that make money. Then there are people that actually buy the specific little area within the casino that the game is run on, and they make money. So there's a couple tiers where when you go to play blackjack in the casino, the casino creator is making money. The person who owns the land you're standing on to play blackjack is making money. And then the actual bigger piece of land that is owned by somebody is making money. So it is up to the creators to figure out how to divvy that stuff up, but it has been done before. And I don't know if Decentraland is necessarily going to work on that because they're giving us, the developers, the chance to create that. They're more focused on generating buzz, making the platform work better, a client, VR, mobile, all that like global stuff, and then allowing developers to do that. But it is available.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I have. Apart from that thing I mentioned, like, well, because are you in the UK? Because I'm in the UK. You said that if you were in the UK.
No, I'm in America.
All right, cool. It just sounded like because you said it was archaic, and it is. Still having to post things.
Very, yeah. Because I work in real estate, so I understand this process, and it's a nightmare dealing with this stuff. If a comma is wrong on a piece of document that was written 100 years ago, it's a nightmare to get fixed. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's just still the amount of paper that's used to represent things is crazy. It shouldn't happen anymore. It's really, really stupid.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on and getting the chance to, talk about this stuff, and people that listen, feel free again to ask any type of question to these guys or to myself, because there is no wrong or dumb or stupid question, because this is kind of a new frontier, and I'm here for it. I'm here to help bring knowledge and at least comfort in understanding what's going on.
Okay, I think,
Awesome.
guys, before quitting, we should introduce ourselves for the introduction, maybe.
Oh yeah, do it.
I'll begin with. So my nickname is Ed. I'm a backend developer in Python, and I've also genuine interest in crypto, in blockchain technology, and I can write Solidity and smart contract code, and that's something I really enjoy. And basically, that's my description, my presentation.
Okay, I'll go. My name's Vincent or whatever. You don't have to say your name, Lastrom. Don't worry. Basically, I mainly do like design and front end. So, and I do a lot with the SDK for people. Like I've said, I recently do a comic book store for people. I'm not that experienced in the SDK though. I just use React and Vue, and that's it. Had lots of TypeScript.
Hello, guys. My name is Nsikak John. I work with Eddine and Vincent. I'm a UI UX designer, and I've been with cryptocurrency and blockchain for a long time now, and I'm excited about all the innovations that's coming up, and I can't wait for more things to change the way we're living right now in the world with the help of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Yeah.
All right, I guess it's my turn. What's up, everybody? My name is Lastrom. I'm from America. I've been programming since 2004, kind of all over the place. Started with addicting games and miniclip.com, evolved into Android development, and then evolved into blockchain technology in the recent years, and been a pretty avid developer within the Decentraland ecosystem for the past 3 years. So know the SDK in and out, have helped push the SDK where it is today. And, you know, big advocate for Decentraland. And yeah.
Woo! Yay! Clap.
Nice.
Awesome.
Right.
I think
Hey.
we should try to redo our presentation.
Whoa! Take two. No, take two, bro. That's it. Done.
All right.
Hey, I'm not kidding though. I mean, if you guys, you can probably cut this recording though. Like for real, if you want to develop and try it, I'm totally down. I'm serious. So
Yeah, that's why I was talking to you about what it was, so I could do more stuff with the SDK and just do it to a booth. That's why I asked you actually about
for sure,
being in the UK. So
got it. Yeah, cool. I know. I appreciate it, guys. Look, I think you have me on Discord. I don't know if you other two, Eddine and Nsikak, have my stuff. So just message me. We can talk about it, and I'm happy to put your guys' scenes on my land, and you can see what it looks like.
Coolio.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And
yeah, thanks. It was awesome.
Bye.
All right. Ciao.
That's awesome.
I'm still recording, guys. I have 1 hour and 1 minute of recording.
All right, cool.
That's great.
There's no sound now.
Sorry?
Check if there's sound.
So I'm just